Testing, this should be no sound, right? I'm actually having sounds. Okay. Okay, we got gig, spectrum. When does it start? Okay. It's looking good on Twitch. Studio. Kinda. To have more consistency. Start a check. So false, like thing that I open all the time. I'm checking. Well, make those stars. I am kind of just fine. Note. Just next time. It'll just look. Check anything else. Fine. Sun. Okay. We are on. More less excuses, more streaming. I fixed one of my excuses. I should move something to the side. Fixed one of my excuses is the main screen was really lagging for me for streaming. I call it the main screen. It's what I'm looking. It's how I'm looking at you. Um, I know it's full cam at the moment, so I don't care. Mm. So fixed one of my excuses to stream less. Hopefully that motivates me a little bit more. Um, and I need to care less about the content. I don't know. There's a thing between. There's the question about what you stream. Like I'm the in between people who stream or wanna be people who stream really long streams for hours and hours at the end and just extract content later. And people are more focused on organize. This is what we do on stream. And a bit like Theo, if you know Theo as the streamer, he like 80 to 90% of the time he records for edited videos. And the 10 to 20% of time hangs with chat, maybe relaxes between videos, changing shirts. But his focus is actually producing edited content. This is kind of what I want to focus on, but I also want to stream for way longer. Currently, my streams are, I don't know, some of my streams were up to around 2 hours mark. Sometimes I'm exhausted at the 30-minute mark. That's horrible. But I think I just need to get practicing. It's also that I'm trying to be very focused on what I do and stream and talk about and show. And I probably should relax my blend mode a bit more. So with my own software, the plan is that I can just extract the interesting bits. I'm also not great at switching scenes, and usually I have now the starting soon. I'll be right back and the other, but most of the time I use the split scene you'd see in a second. Um, what else? I don't know. Less excuses, stream more. What I really want to do is the early segments being demo the software on my own thing. I want to build a demo for the website, which uh, for that I want to stream and edit using the software and get um, cut videos in there. What else? Um, I don't know. I just do a lot of random stuff. So maybe an update. I didn't stream for like a week. What I've done most of the week and what kind of my focus has been so far, and I'm not sure if I might start changing the approach. So what I've done is take my software and go onto different streamers and try to apply it on their content to understand where I'm at, both with the software and what might be expectations from other people. So going in, I was thinking of a very specific stream flow. I was thinking about app devs, and I assumed game devs might be a bit similar, but I might be a bit off. Um, what I assumed the flow would be is I come on stream, I'm going over like a stand up, what I have done off stream or between streams or last stream, kind of a stand up of where we are at. Um, doesn't matter be it the last stream or offline or whatever. And after we covered that and demoed that, the demo part is the thing I thought would be good videos, not necessarily here, but also the next part. So just a catch up, stand up catch up at the start of the stream. And then afterwards, most of the stream is working. So working would mean picking up something you wanted to do, talking about what you're gonna do, picking it up, start working on it, doing whatever. Maybe there's interesting content in the middle, either about that or other content. And later you iterate on that task and hopefully you finish a task or at least demo it partially working. So I was also thinking on game devs that okay, they spend X amount of time, I don't know, about the graphics, about the feature, and they show it off iteratively as it progresses, and I can catch those as good content for the dev um, app or game. I think in apps it's more like the complete state, and in game dev it could be the mid state could still be interesting since it's visual. In a app mid state, a lot of times it's just totally broken. See see bugs, see things you don't expect. Maybe they're interesting for their own sake. And but yeah, the demo at the end of something is finished, I thought is the best content. Because one, you want to demo the things you finished. You want to say, oh, it's basically in the yeah, I don't know if I should show the screen, I'll show it later, but in the main screen, my thing is like task list, change logs. You have a change log. So instead of just having a change log like, oh, this feature now exists, basically you're like, oh, I finished this, it's working. That emotional. I know not everyone's emotional, not everyone's expressive, and I understand people might not even use the sentences which allow me to capture it. But that like, oh, here's a finished feature and here's a demo of it. So you have the text of like I finished it, but you have the you have the video of demoing this is working, and you might have the images extracted as well from it. So yeah, having it as a change log that includes video, and maybe the emotional part is contributing, and maybe it's not. That's a big question. I think that's a very individual question. I thought raw sorry. I thought raw moments are really good for socials. So the first time you're seeing it working might be better than you're trying to record about it. But I'm getting the feeling, well, I think it very much depends on the person and what their social production situation is. A lot of people really want to do an edited specifically video that they demo. My idea was to save time, and as you're doing the app, you're creating the demo already by testing it yourself. And I'm not saying this is the ultimate asset, but this is an asset that costs you zero, and he is already doing the thing. So that was my idea coming in. That's kind of like how I want my streams to be. So I'll use the assets and save the time. I'm not sure if it's reasonable to to sell other people on the idea this is the best flow for streams, or this is the best flow if you want to save time. This is like zero time marketing is the idea. So one coding session marketing solved. The idea is zero time marketing, where you get the marketing material while you develop, because you have to test your thing, and while you're testing it, you're demoing it. And while you're demoing it, you have you can recreate assets or derive assets that demo this, and yeah, that's the vision. But if other people are doing streams differently, then I still wanna give them useful things. I still want the software, the app to work for them, or software to work for them, the service to work for them, whatever you want to call it. It does currently work, and you can adjust it, but I feel like it's more like an expectation adjustment that I cannot actually extract from a lot of people the finished state. Some people say like, "Oh, you expect us to finish anything?" We're usually just chatting, and we're uncovering a lot of bugs, and we're not doing a lot of finishing. I think that's also like a speed change with AI. I don't know. A lot of streamers don't do AI. A couple do. AI development, vibe coding, or AI assistant or whatever you want to use in terms of terms, tools, and actual process. Um, yeah, I don't know. The new startup people trying to do apps, trying to do business wise, they usually vibe code. They usually try to do faster. They care more about the speed of execution and using the latest tech. The people that are just streaming, either they're trying to show code or teach or share or other things, or they're still very skeptic into a lot of the AI coding stuff. They might use it partially, or they might not use it at all, and probably they have some concerns about it affecting their streams. It's very weird if you go to two different groups, one that uses AI coding and one that doesn't. The conversation is very differently. You can say the same sentence, and one would support you, and the other would basically tell you not nice things, and you'd feel unwelcomed. Uh, Very weird in the AI space with that. Anyway, let's start. I'll move to the screen. I'm Although I want to do demos at the start on my own content. I don't know. So far I've done a lot of content on other people's stream. I have something open that I want to finish on another person's stream. It's still using my software. It's still doing that. That's the thing that I don't know how much I want to stream my marketing efforts, because it's me looking at other streamers, and it's a little buddy. I enjoy the stream. I'm there. I'm interacting sometimes for hours. I'm watching it. Um, Partly a lot because I enjoy myself, but there's a small part that's kind of marketing the app, which is weird, because either for app people I try to get a review on the page and they see the app and it's kind of like, yeah, I want a review and feedback, but they also see, oh, this app is for me. So you basically came here marketing as an ad, and even the other ones where I'm pushing clips, I- I'm I'm testing the app for myself and I'm demoing it for the other person. So I'm demoing the app for people to as a marketing effort for them to be interested. So the whole thing is a bit weird. And so it's like, how 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 obvious of a sales marketing effort is it versus being something on the side? Because if I'll just go and like the spam messages of buy followers now, I'm like, oh, use my app now. It will get you content for free and blah blah blah. It doesn't matter what the marketing line is. You don't want to just be an ad. But where's the line of me like, you know, actually being a fan of the streamer, or being a viewer of the streamer and interacting as a chatter and being like, part of the community while also kind of marketing the app. So this is kind of a weird situation I'm put in. I'll probably wind that effort down soon because of multiple reasons. Of course, it's very time consuming and not super productive. Um, I think I'm done with my testing to understand what's going on with other people's content. The Honestly, it doesn't work as well. It's weird. So, marketing, you have to take account into what's working for you and what's not. So, for app users, reviewing my landing page works great. For people that initially I try to get like an email and push on people like a demo on their content, I think that works okay. People are giving it a positive thing, but it feels like less interactive nature of it is not necessarily as converting. It's like, yes, you're right. Yes, it's good. Yes, I'd probably want it, but they're not. I don't think it moves them to take action at the moment. It's more like marketing knowledge. Oh wow, really? I'll remember that. I'll book it market for later. They're not necessarily. And while I kind of have people looking at the landing page on stream and asking them, they're more likely to test it at the moment. Found that as very interesting. And when I'm like, here are some clips that I created, no one's really, and I'm saying, oh, I'm testing my app, I've created it in an app. No one is really asking, hey, what's the app? What can you do? Can you do this? Can you do that? I thought I might get a bit more interaction. And this is in a way, this is the most effort I'm putting into and the least results I'm getting. So I'm not happy with that as a marketing channel. It was a great test. It was a great education uh, thing. Great learning experience. What's going on in other streams and how they look. Since I already have things open, I want to finish some things I had and offload that. And that would be the last of that kind of work I'm doing, I think, for a while, unless some exceptions. Um, I've done over a half a dozen different streamers, probably more. Some I've done and I've not actually engaged at the end, just because of timing. I did a weird thing where I was like trying to prove to myself I can do it in a short amount of time. So only when I've seen a streamer online, I went and processed their last stream, which is stupid if you want to do reactivity, because the moment a streamer um, finishes, I can start processing his stream. Uh, I don't have processing a live stream yet, which is something I'm thinking about, but mm, maybe I should note it in my um, thing. Stream, live streams, task. I don't have that. It's weird. It's gonna require different things. Who are you, Rich Mojan? Based on what's the context here? Welcome, welcome. Never seen you before, and the first thing you do is you throw out. Uh, you're just an agitator. Do you have an actual content? Do you I want to have an actual conversation with him? Um, where was I? So processing a live stream is something that probably requires a lot of changes, because if you put a live stream now, I've started putting a warning for live streams. Redem, go. Redem, I'm not playing your game. You're welcome to stay. I'm not gonna engage with that content. Um, so processing a live stream, currently I've added just a warning if you're putting it by accident. Because what happens is the download just keeps on downloading while it's playing and it never finishes. So you cannot actually process a live stream at the moment. There's a lot of weird things to do because you have to consider that the stream is still ongoing. I don't know if we can download the old parts midstream. Inside Twitch itself, it's reserved only for subscribers. Maybe it can work for YouTube. Not sure. But also about transcribing, you want to do so people that process live streams and do transcribing, they use different models that are fast and kind of accumulative. So there's a lot of work to do processing live streams. Currently not implemented. Currently, we only do the saved streams. Um, yeah. Okay. Let's get back. Let's get into the actual things. Um, yeah, you can see what the guy is on about. Anyway, um, I've updated the task list. We're gonna do the task list later. Go over. I'll give you a preview. We've done a lot of the things like the recut features. Um, I'm not gonna mark them because we're gonna go over later, and I'll demo them before marking. But you can cut before and after. You can cut from a transcript. Very. This I didn't yet test, but suppose we have renamed the cut clips because they all get a default name at the start. We've done favorite clips, so you can just favorite the clip on either the shorts page or the clips page. The home page I can show now. I've added actually this menu bar which opens, and these are shortcuts everywhere. This features section is new. Um, just because I found I don't actually explain what's actually available in the software yet. I just have like the vision on top, but it kind of feels like I've done nothing, or it's not clear because people are like, oh, okay, so you did the shirts. And especially when I demo the shirts, they are kind of meaningless. In the process, we added the enrich here. So we're now doing audio enrichments, which are not only transcriptions, but also check for different things about like intonations and speed of speaking and different stuff like that. There's a couple of algorithms going on over there. They're pretty quick and they're sent to get better stories and segments, which are clips. What is a story is the saying. Often seems like the layout might have broken a bit. I think this should have been on top. That analysis. Um, let's do our first survivor request with Antigraph for the homepage. Dun, 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 dun. So this is kind of what I mean on what I expect my content to be like. Oh, we look at things, we test them around, and when we're not happy or want to change, we start like a task and change it. Hey, official. Oh. Hey, official. I'm not sure if it's just a promotion or you're actually here for a chat, but welcome, welcome. Um, so on the homepage, website slash for the let's context that. So people that are new to vibe coding, contexting with specific extracts from text work very well in Antigraph because what you can see in the stages, it's actually doing a search for those strings, so it knows exactly where you're referring to in the code and what section, so it gets to a specific code lines, especially if it's a unique text. The more unique you can make it, the better. If you're just putting something like the name of the software or something that repeats forever, um, it's not gonna work as well. The small thing with the Mac box titled was on was ended on the right before before I Hopefully, I understand what I mean. Usually, yes. Um, okay. This didn't change. This is the new section. So this is the, what did I call? Like features section. So repurpose fast. Smart YouTube packaging. That's kind of a demo that looks like the app. I don't know, generate, but you get the YouTube title. This I use for the VODs. Maybe it's useful for other YouTube videos, but I assume if you already have a YouTube video, you already have the title and description. Maybe you don't have the chapters. I don't know if you want to see anti-grav using the browser. I didn't instruct it to use the browser, but it does it anyway. So I don't know. This this might be interesting for people seeing anti-grav the first time. It actually asks for you to navigate to the section and look for the thing, provide a report on its current position, and take a screenshot if possible. So, so it's clarifying my request basically by trying to actually see the thing and taking a screenshot. That's interesting. I haven't seen this exact usage of the browser before. But sure, sounds good. So we have the YouTube packaging is the first feature. The story detection is the main thing that we flow from. Turn off footage into compelling. I think maybe we should have some more information here, but this goes to what is a story, which you've seen before. Context-aware recutting, cut clips from text, recut clips shorter or longer. That's on the task list that I've showed you that I need to demo later. But so if this is the clip, we show you the line from before and the line from after, and you can extend the clip, or you can shorten the clip, or you can add more lines from before and after. Simple text cut editing, no manual searching. Yeah. So the way you clip is you just mark it, and you'll have a pop-up here saying recut, and that's it. There's no finding timelines. There's no going into another place. You just mark and click, and you're getting redirected to the new clip, and that's it. You can see the line here, which is kind of horrible. Um, no, probably failed. Let's go back here. Switching between the screens is better. Not sure why it looks like that. So for the whatever, uh, for this section, the button demo is on top and gets cut off top. Um, Also for the demo, it's very nice to see we can cut mid-sentence and uh, on the next sentence. So I'm adding another task inside the same flow because it's still working on the home page. Yeah, I just submit it, and it's not, well, sometimes it can take a while because it doesn't interrupt certain flows. It gets added to the button, to the button. Um, so while it was working on the browser, it would have ignored it, and this after it finishes the browser, it sees it and it will add a task here. So that's kind of nice. Actually, adding requests mid-flow in Antigraph. I didn't see it in the other tools. I don't actually use Cloud. If Cloud Code, if you tell me it's there, cool. I'm assuming all of these tools are copying from each other and are gonna get quite on par with each other pretty quickly all the time. But it could be just me. I'm not gonna compare. put- I'm not gonna use many tools in parallel to compare. I do use a lot of tools for specific things. I think I'm getting off track. Um, I'm just sharing my experience. If it's not unique, I'm sorry. That's what I have. Viral short generation. Not just random AI clips, development moments, personal stories, moment of emotional expressions. You can see these badges. Maybe I'll zoom in a bit because I can barely see them. Um, I should do a small refactor on these for the underscores are not human friendly. I know it's more like developer friendly. It just happened as a default. I should update those. Maybe I'll put it in task. Put it as a task. Put it as a task. Everything becomes a task. Um, with tags, for example, first paste, paste, do not have underscores. Um, both in the actual app and in the home page demo. Let's give another second example from the home page. Slow, yeah, right. Probably misspelled that, but yeah. Okay, so we try. What view? We try to show that this is a bit different from the normal clipping. Um, whatever. I just want to have something. Um, this I think is a bit of an exaggeration because we don't actually have a search function at the moment, as far as I know. But you can jump into the text and cut from the entire transcript. This is kind of an existing section that might have been moved around just as being part of this flow. So rest of the page changed. This changed a bit. I feel something got deleted here. OpenAI, Gemini, Cloud OpenAI. Well, these are the four that I recommend. This is the same. We had a fourth thing that I think became its own section. I already forget what it is. Pricing didn't change, common questions. Didn't change much. I think since the last stream, I've added this one about runs locally on machine. Audit our secure run to see exactly what network calls are made. Trust is on transparency. Uh, yeah. So this is our page. There's also the features here, which would go to the same place, and the menu only up shows after you start scrolling down. Because otherwise, I wanted to skip the first screen load clean. Don't want to distract with a lot of things. Um, but if you want to navigate, it's there. Um, yeah, that's what's going on with the homepage. What Antigraph doesn't do well with the browser, it never closes the tabs. Need to go and close them for him. Um, yeah, that's how it works. It's showing you the just the borders, what it's doing. It could be extracting them, extracting JavaScript, looking at the consoles, clicking stuff, taking screenshots, and yeah, it fits back into the Antigraph flow. I don't know if you guys are interested in seeing it move a bit on its own. I can move the task list. Do I care about the task list? No, not at the moment. I put it here and let me move it away. You can watch this if you're interested. This following thing has changed a lot. It's changed, or I feel like it broke between the versions of Antigraph 2 versions ago. Um, it still does this thing as the following, but it stopped scrolling for you. They had a change log that said, "Oh, stop being so aggressive on the following," because what happened is that this goes down, and if you want to read and you're scrolling up and you're trying to read, it moved on you all the time like that. I thought they changed it somehow. Some things don't scroll, some things do scroll. This for interactivities, it's a bit of a mess. Like um, now correctly positions. So using its own browser, yeah, you see what I wanted to happen is this thing kind of happened. Do I want it? It used to be here. Do I want it back there? I think I do. Oh, no, these to the top of that block and parallel to the title. What is the story? So that is a streamer I was watching finished. Petit Pou Petit Pouet as errors. Connection cut to Petit Pouet. Petit Pouet, if you wanna see, if you wanna know, this guy, cute French guy, does a bit of tech talk at the moment. He was coding at some point, but I see him mostly chatting and doing tech news at this time. Give him a look if you're interested in like tech news stuff, or you're just enjoying. He's pretty early for me. I don't know. You can see he's already streaming for 3.5 hours. It's usually about the time he finishes, I think. Um, if you want to chat, if you want to have someone who interacts more in chats and I don't know, a cute French guy. Cute, not in. Never mind. Uh, our guy. This guy games too much. He used to do a bit of dev, so I looked at him a bunch, and lately he's just doing games. Um, Marvel Rivals. I thought he played something else, to be sure. Mm, after CN, he's also um, he's a developer, but he's also gaming a ton. So I don't know. I'm not as interested in gaming streams, but I sometimes, honestly, I have this FOMO where I'm just collecting Twitch coins for different channels. I don't know. I thought I'll use them one time. I normally don't use them. I even got like a couple of big rewards style from some streamers, like 20,000 coins for whatever being included in the credits or reviewing my game, which I don't have a use for, or suggested the creation to be put in the game, stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's get back to our thing. So we uh, wanted to test what AI finished. So we had this story thing move, and what was our other request? What the heck, Putty? Why are you showing boxing videos? Um, sometimes I lose what I requested. For the context recutting. Okay, the recutting section. Did you fix the recutting? cut into a new clip. Well, it's not cutting on top anymore, but he did not understand what I want from him. He changed the text. Um, I want the max to be plan that into text, just the other bit. Here's- did it say it finished the other thing? Probably there's a walkthrough if you want to see completed. It is to that. Is it in the right place? We wanted to see this thing, right? Yeah, this looks fine. Okay, back to let's go to our software. So I've said I was mid-thing about I forgot to meet. If you want about other streamers, CM Griffin is just starting soon. He needs probably no introduction. He's like the biggest streamer in this time bracket for software dev. He talks a ton, but he's a bit mean. Don't be coming all friendly and asking things you shouldn't be asking, because he's gonna tear into you. He tends to be a bit mean. Um, I once asked, like, how come not too many people are on your chat? Although you have tons of viewers, and he didn't like that question. It's like a taboo topic. Don't ask that. um, yeah, this guy is entertaining. His style of talking, his developer advocates. He talks in a lot of conferences. He talks to about a lot of people. He's like known mingling person. Has a lot of stories. He's interesting. He's entertaining. Check CM Griffin out if you're interested. Um, yeah, but don't be surprised if you ask a question and he's unhappy about it. Because there are topics and there are topics, and he cares. Yeah, as I said, you probably know him if you ever bumped into me. You've probably seen all the other guys. But anyway, okay. So where are we? So we have this guy, we have this streamer called Reinhardt. If you know this guy, maybe I'll show you the VOD. So this is the guy, he streams game development. He does a lot of art. He has like this game tree in the middle, fighters on the side. You're doing like a standing turret defense or defend the base game kind of thing. Um, yeah, I was doing some clipping for about his stream. I've extracted those few if you're interested. Not sure if you can hear this or me. Been, been going for 6 hours on this thing. Uh, and that wasn't even his final version. There's another version here, and the version he compares the old version. So those are the kind of things I'm clipping almost automatically. Um, so I had more streams of his I was working on. Um, so first, after we go through the processing, we get to the stories, and this is how they look. You have the top stories and you have the segments inside of them. You can see here on top, we had an 11-hour stream and we got 6 hours worth of content. So around 4 to 5 hours were deemed kind of boring. I don't know if there's breaks, there's parts you don't talk. Specifically, I've seen this guy, um, specifically this streamer seems to be in focus mode a lot of time. So he just doodle on the art, and I guess if no one's on chat, he can probably go for hours just doing the art. So that thing doesn't get extracted much because the extraction is based mostly on audio. If there's no audio, if you say nothing, there's nothing to process basically. So I'm not too surprised that this guy has around, say, 40% of content that's not extracted. You can see he'd work on one thing for a really long time. These don't have to be sequential, but they could be. They probably are usually. So he'd work on the frog boss for 2 hours, and he might deal with another character for half an hour. But in another stream, I know he worked on. Well, I've just showed you. Suppose he worked over 6 hours on one character. Um, yeah, refactoring boss attack for 2 hours. So the 2 hours are not the total time he worked on it. 2 hours here on or the 2 hours there. It's not the total time of he worked on it. It's the total time of interesting clips we extracted about that topic. Could have been working on it for 4 or 6 hours. I don't know. I don't do from start till end. We can figure that out if it's interesting to anyone. Um, Again, you can also edit the prompts that generate this. So the custom instructions, I'll just show reset to default. This is a normal prompt, and it might be a bit old, and I'll need to refactor it as I'm still calling them arcs, which I don't anymore. I've changed that to stories, which is what you see nowadays. But you can see, ignore that brevity is key, labels, past personal stories, discussions, and others. Labels which we could generate. I don't see them lately. I don't know if that's the type of stream. I've seen them on my streams getting generated. Maybe it's part of, again, the expectations was, or I designed this how I thought I would stream and how I would want to extract the content. So yeah, maybe it doesn't work for everyone, but the entire idea for being able to edit the prompts is you can change it. You can say, hey, because my streams have these 5 sections, look for these 5 sections. It's fine. That's how I designed this. This is what I want to happen. I want you to customize the prompt to your thing. And if you're not sure and it feels like a commitment or you want to test it as one off, there's refine. Refine is almost the same as a prompt, but refine basically looks at what's already extracted, which editing the prompt doesn't. The editing the prompt, if you regenerate after you edited the prompt, it starts from the start. There's no starting state. Thing with refine is we're looking at the state as the stories that were already extracted. So those are these two features. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm back. Um, did we? No. Let's change. Text to stay exactly the same and only move the styling to different part of the text. It's nice that he opened the that you open the browser and I can review in his browser. The thing here, it sometimes sounds trivial for these things, but this is not a completely static page. It gets generated with a couple of things. The header and the footer are not part of it. It's not using a proper system. There's some bullshit Python script that does things and change it. And you can see it's looking for it from a server, not just from a static file. So for me, it's nice that he opens the browser and he uses its browser. I don't even know what is port 8000 or what is running. It's the thing with vibe coding when it works well, it's like magic. It's like a car that works and you don't need to know all the parts of the cars and how it works. You just drive it, you just use it. You don't have to know. Sorry, I'm talking, but I'm not looking at you. I'm refilling my glass of water. It's nice when things work like magic. You don't need to know what's under the hood. It just works. You're just experiencing the results, the tools on the results, and you don't care how the thing works. You don't need to understand the robot vacuum to use it. Just click start vacuuming and it goes. Um, so when vibe coding, when things like this work, I'm just happy for it to work. Um, Although I'm a developer and for anything that's interesting to me and like I'm a knowledge person, I dive into random stuff all the time, get into small details. Last thing was around, I've hit a random TikTok video that talked about AI used in like protein folding things, something like that, which I know nothing about. But he mentioned specifically, now we understand the situation where cholesterol starts accumulating in like arteries and stuff. Didn't use arteries, but the cholesterol starting to clog in the body. We now understand it. And I was like, what? And he said like this tool is from the last 5 years. So I'm like, oh, this is new knowledge. I'm sure no one around me, and probably you might say it's pretentious to say, but I have a feeling at least 50% of the doctors, probably up to 80% of the doctors, don't know about this new development. They might not need to know. It's only the researchers and whatever, someone who convinces to change policies, or the drug manufacturers and treatment manufacturers that start making use of those things and later distribute. But for me, this is really interesting in like there's something new. So especially when it's an understanding and not necessarily a process or a drug or something, because an understanding might be useful by its own. So he was like, okay, so we understand this. I go to AI. Oh yeah, they named the protein like that, and this is what they know. And I'm like, okay, so what did we know? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay. And I have this full content, and I start sending it to some friends, the video, and then all the content from AI, and then I'm like, okay, so in summary, these are the interesting results. Um, I don't know if I should mention medical things in here. Of course, I exception. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I've just used AI to summarize. But like, basically, there's tons of, especially people eating Western diet. There are very common diseases. Number one is diabetes, and number two are the killers that are somehow associated but are not necessarily accounted for. Um, Strokes, heart stroke, brain stroke, dementia. They're all kind of like blood vessels getting clogged. I'm not sure if each and every state is the same, every situation is the same, but a lot of them kind of relate to clogging, and the clogging usually has cholesterol clogging, clogged by cholesterol getting into those. So they've researched and found how this happens, why it starts. So there's the protein, uh, which is filled and leads the cholesterol usually throughout the body to somewhere else. I don't know the details. Um, but when that protein is a little bit deformed, is when the body doesn't recognize it and treats it properly, which sounds exactly like the story about viruses and vaccines, like making your body recognize the protein properly. So the case for that, for cholesterol sticking to the body, is the the protein or molecule or whatever is a bit deformed. It's not normal, and the body doesn't recognize it, and then bad things happen. That's the normal, everything we understand about everything that I understand to understand in health science, health issues is. Um, and then they suppose they have or at least AI explains the reasons it happens is either excessive fats, excessive sugars, um, free anti-radicals, radiations, and stress. And I'm saying the stress, not specifically, it's oxidative stress, which is related to mental stress, but it's not the same one-to-one. Um, and each one of them has a different path to cause this. So the too much fat is overfilling the protein until it deforms. The sugars are getting attached to the protein and deforms it from the outside, I guess, is the what I kind of understood. Don't use any of this as like actual proper source of knowledge. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it sounded very interesting to me that basically excess sugar, that there are like basically five reasons for this to happen: excess fat, excess sugar, uh, radiation, oxidative stress, antioxidants, not antioxidants, free radicals, free radicals. And what gets to free radicals? One of the things is processed processed meats, smoking. Liver damage was a big thing somewhere there. So alcohol smoking would probably increase your likelihood of these issues. Anyway, I keep hearing clicks, but I'm not sure if it's from my thing or something else. Should probably stop watching other streamers while streaming. Should I mute him? Because I need some background noise. It's too boring for me. At least until some people would be interested. Um, uh, so Santa, I cannot spell. Sentence. It's not even spelling. I cannot track. Will should be white on text. Let's use way of text. Use original clip was from was of Uh, and the other text. Uh, okay. I don't know why I feel extra dry today than normal, like something in my throat. Um, there are fires and there's smoke from the fires, and the air is filled with it. Could be the reason. Although I'm trying to control the air quality environment and stuff. Okay, so back to what we were doing. We showed these. I already opened some things that I thought would be interesting clips. So what happens? This is a clips page. So you can click the stories, which probably doesn't look as good. But if you click a segment, it opens a clips page. You can see the video is generated on the fly. It could depend. There are two modes for the application: the classic one, and the quick one. In the classic one, we download or have the entire video, because if you can either use from recorded files in your own file directory, and then you have the video, or you can pull an entire video. And the fast mode, which is kind of new, I skip downloading the video. Although we edit videos and generate videos, you can see it's a download and now there's a clip. Um, so there's a trick. We get only the audio, we work only on the audio, and we only get the video sections we want on demand instead of getting the entire video. Give me a second. Um, so this was weird that it didn't start working in Dash for progress. Um, yeah, so we're just getting the video sections on demand. That saves a lot of time up front. Assuming you're not gonna process the entire video, which is what most cases are. You've seen half the video was not interesting to our app. There's always gonna be a lot of time that's not interesting. Your quiet time, and you think quiet time should be empty, but the way broadcasts are done, fixed bitrate, there's a lot of space being wasted. I'm not sure if it's been re-encoded. I think it doesn't in Twitch. It might be in YouTube, because YouTube actually seems to be re-encoding everything. Don't know. Didn't check. But save a lot of disk space, save time up front. Um, bandwidth. Disk space was a huge thing for me, because I started downloading these videos from different streamers and I ran out of disk space pretty quickly. These streams are huge. They take a lot of space. Anyway. So since we don't have the video, we're on demand. When you're opening a new clip, you'd see this generating thing. And it starts basically downloading it from the web, just the sections it went in. Okay, in a clip, you can see summary and description. AI tries to give a reason why this is interesting in a way and give it a name. This is transcript. Um, Something doesn't seem right here at the moment, but maybe because it's early. Maybe because it's the start of the transcript. But you can see in normal text, what I'm trying to also make AI now show on the page is there's the normal text, there's the next line. You can add more next lines, or you can show before, yeah, I suspected. So it's not broken, it's the first line we had. So the clip is this length, and we got the other one. And the reclipping thing is marking some words and cut into new clip. So the words that you're marking plus in blue, because you cannot have half of a word, is getting in a clip. And you can clip from stuff that wasn't in the clip. If you find you want to extend the clip, we can go and extend it to 3 sentences and do a recut. Um, Let me mute people, because we're gonna watch these clips a little bit and decide if they're interesting or not. This is what I was doing before that I thought I wouldn't stream, and I decided I'll stream my work. You can have the audio. So the audio preview is available while the video still downloads. I don't know if you noticed. Depending on the clip, your bandwidth, and other things, how long this would take. Could be immediate, and you're like, why do you have the audio? And it could take a long while, and then you understand why I have the audio. So, I don't know. Are we seeing are you hearing the audio here? The desktop mixer is a bit low. I'll take it up. Barely a scratch. I don't know. Oh, it has some music. I don't know if I want. Shall we get started? There's much work to be done, so you can see the transcript is fine. We can play at 3x. I understand not a lot of people use the playback, but for us that do, it's really important. I found 2.5x I can understand most people. It depends. Some people talk too fast. I have a friend that does, but I know some streamers that I don't know if streamers, but content creators at least, that I'll only stream at 1x. But for most people, I can stream 2x and understand everything. It's how I watch most YouTube and other things when I watch personally. YouTube, TikTok, whatever, audiobooks sometimes. You can go up to 3x to review things. You can do the same for the video. Just so you know the video actually works and it's not just a thumbnail. This is the guy right now. He's, I'd say, streaming like around half a year now or something. Or maybe I found him like half a year ago. So why did we think this is interesting? I don't know. Maybe I just clicked it. I think I just clicked it. These are the ones I actually went over or selected from the videos. This is a bug. Sequence error into dialog. This interesting? Not much. Go to next one. Dirty coder. No, not interesting. So I'm reviewing it from the text, but there's another way to look at all of the clips. If you just want to see clips, you can see them from here, from the shorts. This is a more classic view. And you can still see the title and the description, and this would start generating automatically. I won't do it. This probably is bad for the stream. You can generate all of them, or you can pick specific ones and generate those. Generate video here. I noted in the tasks there's a like feature, favorite, so you can favorite a clip here. Does this thing. And you can see it also on the clip. So this is a more classic if you just want the shorts and not actually read. I prefer the reading. Um, I don't know. I read quickly, and if you notice, most of these shorts I didn't generate them. But in streams, what will happen is most of the shorts would look the same. You'd see his screen and his expression, and most of them you'd either see the black thing or you'd see him working on the same character, but they give you no indication. The thumbnail gives you no indication of what the clip is. It's not as useful as just going over these. Um, you both get the title and you get the specifics, and I find these more useful. Uh, leave? Is that on the streamer or on the code? So leave, bro. I hope this is actually demoing here because, well, there's a aha moment. Let's see where that moment is happening. Is that the moment? Yeah, so that's the issue. Let's see my text. That's the issue, and why do I normally use it as empty? I think I get Luna right side, which is here. Let's try to reclip this. Let's look if it seems a bit better than what we currently have. Let's start with the audio. Let's try to watch it from the video. There's a small screen of the game, I guess. Yeah. So where does that sound come from? Was that sound from the video or from? Like I get things like there's some messages or anything, but I get nothing. You can see him like getting intense. I'm not sure if this moment is interesting. Oh, so I feel which is here, and we're saying the boss can land. It's checky. So mm, so he's like debugging heavily. Not sure if this makes good content. Um, This this point, I'm thinking of giving up on this clip or jump somewhere else. I think the visuals for this clip is important because we can see him emotionally invested more than the expressive of his voice or words. So that's the thing. I'm trying for this app to be able to do different things. So catching the text is easy, but catching like emotions, catching visuals is harder. I want to add more and more features for other ways to detect. He's like putting his finger in his mouth. I'm like, Like intense debugging. So this continues and continues. Mm. I don't know. I think it's cute, but it's missing something. Like the time length is too large. I'm not. You can watch someone like intense debug for a minute, but not for like 50 minutes. I don't know. This is this too much? It feels a bit too much. I like the intensity of the emotional body language. I don't know. I kind of like it. This is probably too big for me to upload to Discord, right? Mm, I compress the file in something plus video, its target, all size. Probably I can do something. Frequent word. I have some. Mm, let's try to see if these would do anything for me. I try to have it under 10 megs so I can. Oh, pro. No. Target file size in megabytes. This one. 10 megabytes. Maybe I should do like 10 megabytes. It's small. Make video compatible with all devices. I don't care. And subtitles. Reset. Press now. This actually works. This is uploading. Want more features. Let's see if this would actually work. So Discord, unless you boost the server, unless a lot of people are paying to the server, is limited to 10 megabyte files. And I want to share this over Discord. My other option is to upload it to my own YouTube, which I did a couple of times, but I feel I get the feeling from the feedback I'm getting is people are super suspicious when I do that, even though I tell them and show them it's unlisted and I'm not here to take your content and blah 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 blah. They're super suspicious and not happy with that. So yeah. Uh, am I happy from this AI result? Not so much. It's not necessarily the AI is not doing this, that I don't know what instructions to give it. Uh, I don't know. So it's it's, well, still can select Good. I want something from both sides of the coin. That's why I'm having a hard time explaining to AI, and doesn't have the context. When I first created this page, I instructed it to actually look at the app pages and it selected stuff from there, so it kind of looks like the app. But now I'm trying to just work on the homepage, so it doesn't have the context of what this does or how it looks, and I didn't describe fully the feature. So I'm having a bit of a harder time to get the look I'm after here. Okay, so what is yeah, okay, it did 10 megs. See how the quality is. Or do I have playback? If there's video artifacts, it might be. Oh, this compression is a bit hard. But what I care about is the visuals on the cam face. How's the audio? Can you? Yeah, you can. You should be able to hear him, right? I've never. This is the first time I actually have video on stream, which I'm interested in people actually hearing. I did active volumes before. Let's try. Let's clip up. So this is his Discord. So I'm kind of uh my Windows bug is still the same. Back this window, file window, gonna crash this thing, and this blocks File Explorer here. So, this and see this. Okay, gonna favorite it. I'm gonna rename it. I didn't even check this before. Intense feedback. Save. Let's reload. See if this name sticks. Is this correctly spelled? Feels wrong. Intense. Did I make sense? Debugging. What's the G? Although debugging looks cool in my eyes. And what I'm also interested in is how does this look over here? Do not. What? What happened? Shorts. Cancel. Let's look for the value. So intense debugging is saved here and the like. Do you see the favorites here and the favorites here and the renaming word? That's cool. Okay, what else did we have? This clip. Let's see. Is this clip any good? I like this sound. Wow. I don't know. I find this amusing. It might be useless for people. These are like the last one I'm making. So I don't know. I'm probably wasting my time. I'm not. This is another debugging from him, or might be. I didn't consider that streamers singing seems to be a category. And another guy singing La 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 Enchilada, which I'm not doing it right, but the way he did it was really amusing to me. Maybe I should find it. I like the Enchilada song, and I thought he's the inspiration of me wanting to have like a AI editor just to add some kind of enchilada into the video. I'm thinking maybe like just a box going through the screen, just like the old CD loading or CD broken or whatever logo. If you're my age, kind of thing. And when he says enchilada, the box opens and then enchilada shows up. Could be really cool. But I don't have those features yet. I've looked into it. Should be doable. What do you want? Why do you want approvals all the time? Get an approval. I didn't have so many approvals before. Okay, this video is linked. It's nothing good here. What is this one? Now you can see the. This is the game, by the way. This is the tree. This is the tree you're defending, I believe. This is not bad. Let's call it frog boss. I think it's a boss for him. Doesn't matter. He doesn't see my name in any way. It's just for me. Why is this stuck? Well, I cannot actually rename. Well, try it a second time. It's not gonna work. Interesting. Okay. What's the size of this one? 26. Let's try that thing again. Wait a minute. Choose a file from device. Oh, what about options? Yeah. Okay. Where were we? What did we use? I feel like yeah. Should bookmark this. Not sure I remember to come back to, but no. Where are all our options? Okay, so target file, megabytes, 10 megabytes. Don't care, don't care. Compress. It's gonna be text. So this is uploading, then we'll download, and then we're gonna finish with this segment. Although I have another full stream from him, I think that I didn't process, but I think this is gonna be it. This is my final attempt at this kind of testing and marketing. It's good for testing. It's horrible for marketing. But I'm already invested and I'm just gonna finish what I start. Oh, this is 10.1. So it's gonna get rejected, right? Why did you make it 10.1? As for 10, to redo this one. Option. File size in megabytes. I do like 9.9. The rest I don't care. Press now. See. As for 10 megabytes and it did 10.1 and the platform refuses it. Why should I not refuse you? Converted files are automatically deleted after 8 hours to protect your privacy and save your resources. Yeah. Give me a delete button of deleted thing. Now this is cool. I wonder if I should sign up to the user next time. Maybe remember this. How are they offering? They don't show what I get in the free plan. So where am I getting the pins from? I do wonder if I can see something else in here. There's research. No one's here. No one's interested. It's fine. Don't show to compare the free one. I guess it's all for the extra features. What does it mean increased the percent? They not get. Then do what I want. Is there a second option? Should we try 9.5? I don't know if this product is important or not. Let's do 5. This is not working. We're gonna go to 9. If 9 doesn't work, we're just gonna dump this. Yeah. How are people doing? Any new streamers coming online? See what Petit Puta has to say. Did we look at this? Did we get what we want? Not sure if there's a change. It looks reasonable enough. Let's commit. Can't see it, but show what I'm doing. So I did like git status to see the file change, only the home page as expected. Not sure what's interesting. Just the home page weeks. Not gonna push it because it's bad for my stream. It's bad for my stream, not because of people. It's bad for my stream as I don't have the bandwidth to handle all the automated tests. So I asked for 9.5 megs and I got 8.3. So we did call it boss fight. Upload. Actually, these I didn't check, but me uploading files it's probably also hurting the stream. Can you see like 1% frame drops? Normally put pretty at lower volume. Okay. So this is it for this segment. My sanity with this. So I was uploading some point to my own YouTube just to share. Okay. So what did we say? We said we're gonna actually run on our own thing. Should I close this browser? Do I have anything else to put here? It's like, oh, I'm gonna doesn't matter, boyfriend, girlfriend, doesn't matter what. If you try hard enough, all the options will produce kids. What? Why? I don't care for loots and stuff, Twitch. No. Game stuff. Okay. I need a moment. So we have the task list. We wanted to demo the app on our own stream. It's gonna be in person, of course. It's horrible to watch your own thing. It's easier to watch other people. I'll watch without the glasses first. What do you want to do? I have multiple options if I'm gonna do my own streams. There's just too many options for me. I have the recorded files, which are the best option. There's the VOD on YouTube or Twitch. The VOD on YouTube is the best option for a demo, as it's the quickest. Quickest is relative. It's the least steps for people to try the app for the first time. And then I have different ways of running the app. So on development, so I have now some new scripts to show you. This is dev mode only. This is internal tools I'm sharing with you. Just showing you off showing you the internal tools. So I created this profile script, and for different streamers I've been trying this thing at, I created their own profiles. So maybe I'll explain the problem this solves. So what I had before when I'm developing, we have 4 different. There's 2 ways for customers to run it and a third way for me. My third way is run it as a dev environment. Everyone that devs knows what that option. And there's two distributions. One is an executable with a launcher, one is a Docker. Um, Wait, it's distracting me. So what you have two options on the site. You can download the normal executable, which is the most performant, flexible. It's the best option. I was going back and forth, but like the executable is still like the best option. It seems a bit slower. People who have security concerns and stuff, I created the secure run for. The secure run is a Docker run. Until recently, the secure run was the new thing that I was testing intensively. So I said if I'll run it, when I do the demo, I'll do a secure run because just for testing and for showing it, in a way, there's something faster about it to start. Maybe because I have the container and there's no steps. There's just one step for fetching and not 5 steps for fetching because the executable is split across different things to do faster updates. It's funny. It's to do faster update and it's slow. There's less fetching. Not sure actually. The thing is, these are like almost different periods of my life. These are different periods for me building the app. Once there was the app, it started off with CLI options. Then we started doing the UI, and then you have the dev environment. And then we started doing the executable, and we built the launcher, and we've upgraded the launcher over time. And then we had the launcher stabilized, and I didn't touch it for a long while because I started on the secure run. So people with security concerns, both valid and deflections, I've decided to address as valid. I'm not sure how many of them actually get convinced by it, but created this secure run option. So maybe I'll just show as you speak. The download is a simple, you can download an executable on Windows. Said to myself, I'd probably want to demo the Windows executable as in reality, most people are on Windows and they use a bright theme and they just want this too. Now I'm on Linux and I care about this more. Doesn't Not really. So I've tested these both extensively originally. I've tried to do a Mac version. I can do a Mac version. I just have to pay to do a Mac version. The Windows executable is not signed. The Mac version would not be signed, but I also need to pay to have a Mac runner, or I need to buy a Mac Mini so I actually be able to test it. Yeah, since I don't have a Mac, I didn't do Mac properly or didn't do Mac yet. One of the streamers I've talked to, which also builds an app as like a startup and things, wanted to test a Mac. He was interested in Mac, but didn't happen yet. Maybe when I catch one of these guys on stream, they'll test it. I think he tried to. Oh, yeah, had one streamer try to, but originally this was using port 5000, which is default for a lot of uh, development frameworks or whatever. But apparently Mac also uses it. Mac uses it for some airdrop thing. Not exactly airdrop, but something. And he tried to manually change the Docker, the Docker Compose to a different port, and it kept staying on that port and causing the issues. Even when it was deleted, was a whole mess. And he couldn't get it run. So I changed the port, the default port, and hopefully this would work for him, but I haven't I haven't bumped into him on stream yet. There's a lot of weird things when you run Docker containers. The Windows and Linux ones are relatively simple. There's the enable GPU. I didn't actually test GPU working, I tested with GPU not working. If you try this, it will probably fail the process if you don't have things installed. There's a setup guide. So the problem is the containers are so restrictive and so special that the GPU stuff doesn't work necessarily out the gate. I think for Windows it does. I don't know because my virtual machine doesn't get GPU. So you could test it on a different machine, but it doesn't actually have a GPU. It has like an iGPU. Not sure if it's good enough. Yeah, so the entire GPU thing is not really tested. Without containers, the transcription for Whisper uses the GPU, and I've actually offered the parallel thing, and it now uses the GPU even more. When I did 2 hour stream processing, I didn't feel it as much, but when I process 6 to 12 hour streams, it seems significant. I did 2 hour transcriptions on the CPU, takes a couple of minutes, not too bad. If you try to do a 6 hour on the CPU, ugh, it seems like it's gonna take an hour by the estimate. It's probably not gonna take that long. I don't know. I quit on the 6 hour streams from working without GPU. So I've did a lot of testing on the at least on the Linux one, Docker container without the GPU. So I ran it CPU only. Streams for around 2 hours were quick enough. You can see it, you can feel it, but whatever, it works. Uh, I didn't. I looked at the 6 hour and I just canceled them. Moved away from it. Um, I might not have the patience. You might be okay with it. It works. It's just taking a long time because the functionality takes a long time. There is the second option which I started working on and is still in a task here for like API stuff. This thing. Um, so if you are first into uh, do, 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 uh, no. Um, so if you are on a Mac or you want the secure runs and you cannot get the GPU running and you're impatient or you just want things quicker, I want to offer transcription by audio API. They could be in some cases better, but not. It's a bit different than just the LLMs. They're not as consistent. It's gonna be a second setup unless you're using OpenAI for both. I don't know if even if I'll support that, but probably gonna set up a new API thing with one of the providers. And it's possible. It's not implemented yet. It's a task here. I've looked into it. There is partial implementation. You can see in the settings. There's already an option for it. Should probably show the app. Just show, don't tell all the time. Started showing it this. This is my problem. Um, I like to have here's a second. The app. So this was the original profile script. Was just adding some switches. Should be using source something here for a second. Yeah, not organized at the moment for this, but there's always stuff to do. Um, this is dev app. Not sure why the line looks like that. I just copied from somewhere that worked. So there are two ports. I'll move it to the big screen in a second. Okay, so there's transcriptions, and you can see I've added parallel here, and there's some warning about GPU, which I added. So this is the thing that I think differs between like using Claude and using Gemini. I think I didn't work a lot with Claude, but I tested a couple of things, but I think Claude would not have come up with this on its own. It wouldn't add a warning, and Gemini just goes and add things you don't expect. I I know this annoys a lot of people because you didn't tell him to, and he does extra things. They might be stuff you don't want, but most of the times I find Gemini does things I want that are extra and we did not discuss. So putting this warning was not something I told it to do, but since it warned me about the consequences, it also put the warning for the UI, which I am happy with. Maybe other people will want it. So if you ever see the AI providers, how you add a provider and then you put a key and select a model, this should be pretty similar. Um, this is AI providers for transcriptions, experimental. I have not tested this yet. This doesn't work yet. It's not configured anywhere, but this is like the start. I'm not even sure what would a local provider be versus the delete. I thought I fixed it, but OpenAI, you put a key, you test the connection, and I assume you select a model, and the delete won't work, right? Where's the why I can't right click here? Let's give AI another task to fix whatever is going on here. The problem here is the problem with the server. Should be getting okay. Error. Not found. I think this might be a bigger issue. And I think we should have a clear distinction in code between AI LLM providers and AI audio providers, both in the code and API in the front end and in back end, like complete distinction. I assume we got some error here that I can copy to AI as well. Let's see. I can see tons of, here's the delete. See tons of telemetry, which is not too interesting to me at the moment. This seems the thing. We still want to use the factor swell component as they share same interactions on the of adding providers setting key connection tested and corrected model. Yeah. just those strings. They say, uh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Wait. Say yeah. Inputs. Okay. I'm kind of wondering if we should have I don't know what local here is. If we should have like a fake local whisper here that shows the CPU, GPU. Um, mm, 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 mm. I don't know. This area needs some thinking, which I've not done. AI providers here, LLM providers. Okay, this needs some thinking. So I just wanted to show that I started thinking about that uh, ask and started maybe doing the force iterations for transcription by audio API. Um, the premise is for it to be faster. I have not tested it. The thing is you need hardware, so it depends on your hardware. If you have a good GPU and you get it recognized and working in Whisper under the app, which is easiest in the executable, but should somehow be doable in most OSs. In the container, the way the instructions show, I've not tested it. Um, then I think it's a decent speed and costs you nothing. The audio APIs differ tons in price, but let's say you pay like 10 cents per minute. Is that around the price? The cheaper prices or the more expensive prices? So for hours of transcriptions, you might pay a couple of pennies. You might get to a couple of dollars on the more expensive APIs. And if you already have a GPU, then you already pay the cost and you can pay nothing. I don't know. It's up to you. I'm for user choice. The problem with user choice is that I need to test all the choices or they don't work. So if I wanna support OpenAI and Grok and whatever, there are like 3 to 4 big providers for this. Then I need to make accounts and test. Um, I don't know how would cost on one work. There's the YouTube one, which is the most, which might be the best Google one. Sounds like it needs to have a very intensive setup, um, which is why I might not support it. Although that's the one I most wanted to support. It sounds like a lot of setup for API accounts and stuff, and I don't want to have big complex instructions for users to get things because I don't think they'll do them unless they're sold on it. And if they're sold on it, then maybe they come to me that wanting it. Need to have any users for that first. What is Betty doing? Is editing some audio video? I keep you back. Oh no, it's cursing. I don't want cursing. Not hearing too much. Now I'm interested because he's doing some kind of video. Well, Yeah. Did he what the what is this? Beethoven? Doesn't to be to one footbit. But I don't know. I think the kitchen might be occupied. So where was I? Oh, it's another streamer. I was doing things with or uh what's his name nickname? Like Warhol something. Wallstone? This thing. I think. He's a really fun guy. I don't know if he works a lot. He's joking a lot on stream. He's a very positive guy. If you have any mental health things he's into. Um, I don't know. He laughs a lot. He's funny. He doesn't do a ton of work as far as I've seen. I don't know. He does some. He's not much as a developer, more like a game maker kind of thing. He's learning a bit, but I think he makes games. He's mostly just fun. I think here is like a game. He's like whatever. Um, the reason I try to show the app and the profiles here that I'm talking about is I had one big problem is on purpose I was making all the options, the executable, the Docker on it, and my dev environment all go to the same directories. Why? So if you're trying out the app as a Docker and you're like, there's problems, it's slow. No, you promised me better. I want to use the GPU and I couldn't get it in the Docker. I want to use the executable. If you switch to the executable, it will bring back all your content. So it acts like it's the same installation and path. So you get back all your video library, what you started processing, whatever. uh, Video, audio, transcripts, announcement generations, clips, stories, everything. You get your profile back. So all the three paths of running it, two for users and the third for dev for me, use the same files, same personal files. So what you've seen here is me going to the main directory and basically having uh something is now I understand something is really off here. Okay. Oh, why is this the current directory? So you can see my current directory and the thing is occupied from previous attempts. So what was happening since all the installations or all the running options go to the same directory is that what I was doing is bringing one video from a person, processing it, and then deleting everything because I want to work on something else. Or they would mix in and I have all the profiles in one place. And I'm starting to think about having things that are across from one stream, like knowing that you're building this one game or app. Um, what's your styles that you've chosen for videos that you've uploaded or clips that you favorited or something? Start having some kind of an account level awareness of you as a streamer. I don't have any feature yet specifically implemented or in mind, but like give the context of you. And a lot of times, like in my dev account, what I want to do is start things off and then delete everything and get back to the welcome screen. And I didn't want to get back to the welcome stream. Ugh. I didn't want to delete everything and get back to the welcome screen when I'm working on other people's stuff because I started looking at these streams for that are like 6 hours, 11 hours, and they take a lot of resources. That they take a while to download and a while to transcribe. Even if it's a couple of minutes, it starts accumulating. And then running the LLM takes a while, and the LLM is out of. First, I pay for each LLM call, and second, uh, sometimes it's overloaded and it's retrying, and it takes a while. And like these are long streams, so we have between 12 and 30 plus chunks for the LLM, and another one that connects everything. So it all takes a while, and I wanted to keep those at least for a while. But I didn't want it in the dev account. So that's why the profiles was created. So if I go and use the JD does thing, I can load his information separately. And you see, I have his account. I have the streams I made or imported just from him, and it's not in my main account. Um, and I also made it so they are on different ports where I can actually look at them in parallel. So I was I was opening two streams or still working on one stream while I'm looking at another. One is in the transcribe stage, one is in the LLM stage, and I just have them in parallel and work on multiple different accounts, multiple different streamer accounts. Also, I think I wanted. It's good to have a bit of the feeling of how an account looks that is dedicated just to the streamer and not a messy account I would use in dev, and I would be the only one importing from 5 different streamers and having my own thing mixed in. Like basically, I wanted a clean slate, a user profile situation. So this is the profile script and how this works and runs. Uh, yeah, so that's cool. Maybe I should put it in the list just to check it off. Especially now that I showed it off. Uh, dev profiles mode. Um, well, on data and and in parallel. Existing. So the script lets me see all the ones I already created, create new ones, run the old ones. So that's cool. Um, Recut features. I've showed you the recut already when we looked at Ryan's art stream. I did not show you from transcript. Rename looks for recut lips, but not lips generate but on the LLM. I'll put that as this is like a bug. From transcript, I didn't show you that yet. I didn't test it yet. Makes sense to look at it. It did say we'll do a demo first and then we'll go over the list, but we demoed on others. I'll do it soon and we already started looking at tasks. Be right back. So I've talked about the profile scripts, talked about the demo set. Let's look at the tasks because we started looking at a couple. Full use of the app demo. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Didn't start it. Security mode for the app. This actually is kind of done. Um, this is done. This is well tested. I've mentioned it here. It's well tested. The GPU is not well tested. Um, Test GPU options. Extensively. Yes. Yeah, it's like the main feature is done. The GPU mode has instructions on how to do it. They're a bit involved. I didn't get it working yet. That's it. Um, yeah, this I still want to do. So this is relevant only for if you have recorded files and you have parallel recorded files. Want to be able to use them. It's going to be different ways to use them. So the most basic one is being able to switch among them. So if you see when I stream, most of the time I have this layout. There's the half screen on top here. There's the full screen on top there. There's the cam here. We have a chat. 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 Yeah, wait, this is confusing for me. Why does it not even? Yeah. Um. So this is a complex layout, and you've seen me clipping like that as a complex layout. But when I record, I have this layout recorded, but I also have each of these individual segments recorded in parallel. So the most basic feature here is just switch between the parallel videos. So I can cut a section and say to clip a section and say, "Oh, this looks good," but nothing on screen is relevant to the video. So instead of showing this complex screen, I want to do a full cam look. So the same, something too complex. So we have the full camera. So I have this video separately all the time, even when we're on like the scene mode. So I want to be able to say, oh, this clip was interesting, but the only interesting thing is the talking. And maybe it was animated or maybe not, but the screen is not interesting. Let's switch this clip to the camera, to the full camera video. So I want to be able to do that. And the same is to say like, oh, no, I just wanted the on screen because maybe it's showing the app and that's the most exciting things, or maybe allow for some post processing where I change the layout and the cam is not how it was recorded, but we make it around cam and we move it around something. I don't know. The initial thing, the most simple thing is to allow that full screen camera only mode. Let's put it so simplest case MP switch from main recording to camera only. Top video. Yeah. So this was the homepage. This was an ugly bug that the header looked really bad, and I fixed it. I had a regression. I fixed it again. I think it looks fine now. Yeah. So recut feature. We talked about favorite clips. I've demoed the favorite clips a bit before. Where's our did we not have an open app here somewhere? Yeah, we have this. Do I just drag the other way? So I've showed you this. I think I've closed this one, and this is wrong. I've showed you this basically in the shorts. You can favorite, and you can look at them in the other. There's two places you can do it. Is inside the shorts slash clips URL screen, whatever, where you have favorite on top, and the shorts generation slash shorts, where you have all the small shorts, and you can do a favorite clip. Um, maybe in the generations slash shorts, if the video wasn't generated yet, the feature is missing. So that's why I was joking around and saying my whole task is review and complain nowadays because the LLM, the antigrav, the tooling, the coding AI tool should be doing the testing. It does the coding, should be doing the testing. I'm doing brainstorming with it. It selects text, although I change it to complain. I do use other tools for UI, whatever. Like I just review and complain. I say, no, I don't like this. I don't like that. Change that. Just look at it and say change stuff. Okay. So update homepage with features. This I've showed at the start of the screen. Actually, um, this feature thing I added because I think I wasn't communicating what's in the tool because it's like, oh, it's a clipping platform, but it's a bit more, and the clipping is a bit better. So you've seen we updated this during the stream. I've not pushed this; it would not update until I push and build. Um, yeah. So we can say this is done. Demo for homepage is the same as on top, basically. Full use of app demo. Take, do I need to explicitly say something here? Video with screenshots and experts link on site. I think I can. Uh, I can maybe separate this into a subtask. I'm not even sure what all this long text at the moment is. Multi-account profiles, I've demoed this, but this is a dev only. It's not interesting for people. It's not. It's not a user thing. Um, Video editing features. So when I've seen that Inchabala thing, it really got me. So in clips, you want an edit function. Uh, also, you want to have edit by font features. I do have some. I do have notes somewhere on how we can do it locally using your GPU, using your hardware if you have it, or we'll also need to support another AI gateway thing. So, so we already have LLM providers. We're talking about audio providers, and here we might talk about video providers later. But I first prefer the local path. I'm not sure, maybe someone mentioned as a critique of my approach, at least to Whisper, as in like, oh, you probably have a new strong computer. Mm. It is true that I call it like medium to high and recent computer. But as far as I understand, all the things I'm doing on the GPU can be done on GPUs from 2 or 3 years ago, or like at least 2 generations ago, probably more, depending on the range of card you bought at the time. So you could have bought a card 5 years ago that's still stronger than the card I bought. I have a 5060 Ti, but even if you had like a 2080, 2090, or 2070, something like that, those could be stronger. They have more processing but less RAM. So it depends exactly what's done. I don't know. Apple stuff is very different, although I'm not doing good service for Apple for Macs until I get my own to test. But their hardware architecture is very different. They might do AI stuff or they might not. Uh, I don't know much about other GPUs that are not NVIDIA if they would work or not for most things. I assume the Whisper thing would work. I think container GPUs won't work. It's a big question. So I'm starting to wonder it about video editing because video editing locally is probably a bigger consumer than Whisper. Whisper works with CPU. If you try to do video editing over CPU, it's probably not gonna be a nice time at all if it would work at all. So yeah, so also supporting API providers. Um, there are things I'm kind of thinking like it's very personal constraints. Like I don't know, I need to try as wide support, but I cannot control what how you have your internet connection, your different situations. Because if you don't have a GPU, your CPU is weak, and you want it quick, and you're gonna have to use third parties. For third parties, you'll need the upload bandwidth. I'm trying to keep as many constraints in mind as I can, but I can probably not solve for everything, and I might not be able to think all the situations up initially. I might be able to start making like tables of all the possible combinations, and maybe I can cover some other stuff. But at some point, honestly, I'd probably be waiting for users that want to try it and care about using it and having issues and trying to work on their issues specifically. Um, or offer alternatives, customer support and stuff. I don't know. But that's a thing maybe with me demoing more of the things. It's like showing how it works. Then when it doesn't work like you seen it works for me, then you're more likely to contact me about it, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how this works. Um, yeah, we'll see. Mm, hope to have communication with potential users and with actual users, people trying. I know most people don't complain, don't contact support, don't put the time in, but that's why I was like marketing one-on-one and focusing on app builders and startups because they get it more and I felt like I'd get more, maybe you get a bit more sympathy, maybe more interest, maybe because like the same experience they they would see me having, they can take as lessons from themselves. That's kind of I think what building public is about a bit. is kind of communicating with other builders. Yeah, anyway, hope to have an edit feature. Hope for it to have a good experience locally. Also about local hardwares. Yeah, I think we had a degradation in expectations of the upcoming future because some companies pulled out and changed things, and RAM is of high value suddenly. So memory prices and GPU prices and everything's gonna go like crazy for a while. I don't know if that's long term. Well, I started thinking about this before that. Um, and I have a feeling that this we're gonna have a spike in this hardware pricing for 1 to 2 years, and then we might be back to a normal or have a new normal that people are accustomed to and expect and considered like good pricing, whether it comes back or not. It would just be the new normal. And I think people would still be buying GPUs for gaming. People still buy GPUs for streaming, or they just buy GPUs because that's the computer bundle, the laptop bundle they bought, or whatever hardware equivalent, like with Macs or whatever, or iGPUs, doesn't matter. Someone would fill the void. The void would still get, the feature would still exist, the hardware would still be there, people would have it. So I'm not too worried about long term. And as I've said, and from starting this out, my assumption is that this product is initially for streamers. And if you tried streaming without GPU encoding, it's kind of almost unreasonable. You can get away with a little bit of it, but not a lot. Especially as a dev that needs more memory and processing for other things, not just, I mean, gamers as well, but I don't know, if you were a chat only kind of streamer, then you probably have less hardware requirements than if you're a dev or a gamer, especially compared to a dev, I think. I don't know. Devs and gamers might need a bit different resources and have different constraints and levers to play with. Okay, I'm going off track, but what I wanted to say is my basic assumption is that the average user would have a streamer hardware, meaning he would have some GPU for encoding. So that's kind of the base level expectations. It's not the requirement. It's not the bare minimum. I'm testing it. It works on CPU only, and I'm gonna make it work better on CPU only, especially if people would care. Anyway, so yeah, video editing feature. Hello, Midpie. Video editing feature. Want to have something. I wanted to do the enchilada song. I'd find something else. I do want to edit stories from your catch. Streamer singing. It's okay. I like people giving a small small song. I think that has like potential virality, especially with the editing. Especially if we can do some clever editing, prompt based, have the have the first LLM come up with a good prompt for the video editing uh, AI, run the video editing, review the video, maybe have multiple generations ideas, both from the LLM and the generator. And I think that could be really, really cool. I don't know. I might be losing my mind here. Of course, as the models improve, I expect this feature to improve by itself. So feels like an investment because it's only gonna get better. They're pretty good video things. It's a bit expensive if you for the paid ones. The local one might not be improving. I don't know. Probably will. Maybe will need like actively improve by switching default one or supporting new ones. That would come along. Oh, okay. So we cover this discovery platform. I don't know. I don't know how to say this. So I started this stream talking about like marketing, and I've talked about what works and what doesn't. I'll do the TLDR. So talking to dev streamers and telling them, asking for like a review, worked pretty well for me. They would usually look at the site. They would usually look at it and freeze a bit and say like, "Ah, this is for me." And at the moment of like, I don't know if they're like, oh, now I'm looking at this differently because I'm looking at it if it's interesting as a product, not as a review, or like, oh, this is why you're here. You came and you're selling to me, and I don't know, between you sneaky bastard and a good job, and how can I do something like that? I don't know. I'm making up what they would be thinking because I don't know. And probably even if I get an answer, it won't be a complete answer. Hmm. Um, so that worked well. Doing demos, I feel like when I'm sending by email an attempt of like, oh look, I'm demoing basically the YouTube packaging. So title, description, chapters. I'm showing them the stories and segments. I'm basically demoing the features. I don't show that. I show clips. I don't necessarily even show the clips really, but I try to. I want to. I think I've showed less of the clips, but more of the first two. So the YouTube packaging and the story detections. I send them and it's like, oh look, I've processed your stream. This is what you should be expecting. I feel this is impressive and gets people's attention, but they don't. It doesn't necessarily get them to action. It gets them to defer this. I think. I don't know. I think I'll still do a couple of these when the opportunity presents, but I'm not sure if that's my focus. So the next focus is um, what's in the marketing world, and hope I'm not gonna offend anyone that might be interested in this later and like, oh, you're marketing. Um, they called lead magnets. Lead magnets, and I had another idea. Not a name. No. Lead magnets. Lead magnets is could be a really wide array of things. It's between even like mm, tradies offering like a free consultation, free review, free check, even like a mechanic saying, oh, free tire check, free battery check. Even big companies do that. To online marketers, a lot of times do either like get this free report. You just need to enter your email or whatever. You get this free report, free ebook, chapter of the ebook, or some kind of free assessment form or free wizard or something, or my checklist or my. A lot of times it's like a free info product. Sometimes it's a bigger one that's more like a wizard free process. But basically, they're getting you into the funnel to have some kind of to establish a connection and to start doing a bit of filtering. What's the So with the funnel, it's like prospecting. Not sure what the exact word is, but you have the people you think are potential leads, and you have to qualify your leads to understand if they're actually relevant. What you would, the way you easily identify it is sometimes also when you register for free products, they would ask what the company name is, what is the company size, what is the budget, and what is your time frame. So if you're like a solo person with $0 to $100, it's not as interesting. If you say your budget is $10,000 plus and you're working in a company with 1,000 people and you give them the name, they're like, oh, salesperson, go. And they're gonna research about the company a bit and blah blah and maybe give you a call, maybe send you a custom message, get the person start tracking you and start being interested and start a sales process because you're a high value prospect. So those are like easy to identify. Uh, Sometimes they let you skip them, sometimes they don't. Those are easy to identify when they start questioning those when they start asking you those questions in a form. What I'm going for is not those two lower level ones, but like a higher level one. What people sometimes do is free tools. Um, for like lending companies, let's say mortgage companies, banks, whatever, the mortgage division would put out a free tool as like calculate the returns on the mortgage, calculate what house you can afford. Those are like free calculators that are lead magnets because they bring you in for a free tool. And sometimes they don't capture your information, they just bring you to the website and build awareness. Sometimes they try to capture your information. It depends how much value are they bringing, how unique it is, and if they have something to provide against that information. So you might see a repayment calculator that's free and nothing goes on, but you might see like eligibility or how much house can I afford, and you might get the first steps for free, and then they ask, oh, do you want like a mortgage broker to come to contact you, or do you want to know the best trades, or do you want to start a process, or do you want a more personalized evaluation to your situation, and not this generic calculator? So they start getting your information. I'm not necessarily going to be as aggressive, and I'm going to for higher value, at least for the industry tool, which is a discovery platform. What I want to be able to do, because it started off with a side need for myself. So I'm going and finding these dev streamers that might be interested in it. My first target, as the website clearly outlines, I'm not hiding it, is app developers, indie hackers. And maybe the second one is game developers. And third one is unrelated people. I know, learning others, there are more options. This tool can actually work for other crowds. Although these are my target focus plan. So I said this is open. I'm not hiding this. Um, so what I'm thinking about, and I started doing something, but we might, in terms of development, it might be my focus over the other tasks soon, is have a discovery platform that makes it easy for you to find app developers. So show off the dev streamers, show off what they're building, show off the names where you can find them, maybe what hours would be nice. Um, so there's I'm jumping back and forth between them. I doing it initially very focused as only only streamers, or do I catch some more easy value by just listing communities that aren't necessarily streamers, like putting out the um, like the Reddit groups, and there's some specific sites like indie hackers and be like a bigger discovery thing and just add things as we go to have people's like specific blogs, maybe directories or not. Um, Try to see people that, especially because streamers and the tool are trying to provide would enable them to go and post across social platforms, across social mediums. So mediums I consider like streaming, videos, images, posts, micro posts, doesn't matter, but it's basically like stream, video, image, text. Um, so since the streamers would be doing that, I kind of would support that eventually. But then if I do that, I probably also support people who aren't streamers to be listed. Initially, I'm thinking of this as a passive platform where I just fill the information. Then the next step, which makes it a more of an actual, which adds maybe lead capture, is actually having people take ownership of their own pages. So if you're that Twitch streamer, if you log in with Twitch, I can let you manually edit all the information and make more decisions about how your profile looks than I instead of me just automatically deciding everything. Also, as a lead magnet, one of the things is to demo the product already on the discovery page. So I'll need to review my thinking about it because originally, so you can see that I was thinking about like task logs and change lists, task list and change logs. So I was thinking, okay, last stream he did these four things as written in the website, but it's not something you can find somewhere. He didn't publish it, but it's just me processing the stream, finding okay, we've seen at the start of the stream where I worked. What's the name? Ryan Art. So Ryan Art at the start of the stream that I've showed, we see him working on the, I don't know how he calls like the shaman character, let's say, in one phase. And we've seen him working on the frog boss fight or frog boss. So we are gonna put in the discovery platform. Last stream he worked on the shaman character, and the one before that he worked on the frog boss. And really aspirational, trying starting to work on live stream. He's now working actively on this new character. That would be really cool to have, along with like, is he live right now? Of course, if I'm saying if he's live right now, what is he working on live now? But usually the stream tags are the stream titles are not updated much by streamers. It's just like what do you put there, and usually it's kind of either you or the thing you're developing or a generic line of like ask me anything or something. Most streamers keep the same title for a long time. And I don't think anyone is sure what titles are good or bad. So people don't update them frequently. So you don't really know what they're doing. Some streamers create like these bot commands on project and current tasks. Not sure if they update them too frequently. A lot of times you'd hit that task and then it comes up with something old and then it says, "Oh, let me go update it. This is what we're working on." It's kind of more of a communication tool than actually something that's kept up to date. For the ones I've seen, um, not gonna insult someone, that only person who actually does it properly. So I have a lot of ideas for the Discovery platform. I've started bootstrapping something. So what I want to happen is for it to be in like in a subdirectory on the domain. So it does create SEO value to the site, and like just people coming to the site and maybe seeing what the site is about. So this is the this is the marketing part where this brings back to the software. So demoing it on the platform is really important, especially if I can say like, oh, this extracted by Vodflow. So you understand what's the relationship and why you should look at it if you do. The fact that the streamer connects his profile to it doesn't necessarily give me anything. Um, kind of feels just like being nice because I got the feeling from some streamers that they want more control and they're not happy with people randomly doing things. Like I get it in one way. Maybe I'm trying to promote you in another way. Maybe you're not interested in that. You are actively against it or actively against doing certain things about it. So one of the streamers I've talked to, he was like, "Oh no, we're trying to have control. You should only use the clipping feature inside Twitch. Should not be making clips off platform." Okay, it's your choice, it's your control. And later I understood, oh, he configures some things about it in Twitch, but this prevents nothing. Like this is not a protection. It's okay if he feels good with it. It's like a lot of things, lots of features for humans are more about feelings than reality, or maybe they are reality for low level stuff. So, like a person inside Twitch that has no programming, or I don't know, person inside Twitch that doesn't download the video, okay. But once you provide something publicly, it can be used anyway. So, whatever. The point is, it's their choice and enable them to have that choice somehow. Um, but maybe this is like premature. It's probably way premature. The problem is I'm having these conflicting ideas between what I want to do for marketing and what would streamers be happy about, because it might be antagonizing at some point, and I don't want to antagonize them if I want them to be users. Um, I feel this is a bit like some dating advice and or actions by people. Like two people can do exactly the same thing, say exactly the same sentence in the same way, in the same tonality, but they are perceived differently by the other side, let's say because of their looks. So an ugly guy and a handsome guy saying the same exact sentence to the same exact girl at the same time, the girl would respond differently to the two people because she considers them differently. She considers one like as a potential mate or a fun hookup, and the other is like, get away from me. This creep looks, I don't know, dangerous, ugly, not attractive, not interested, don't want to be associated with him. Looks like in the wrong class, wrong place, not in my circle groups. Like it's gonna degrade me. It's not even just being close by or having any conversation with. So I kind of feel like that might be some situations specifically. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Some people claim I'm not specific enough, and this annoys them to a crazy degree. One streamer blocked me for it, for being too vague, and he thinks I meant bad for him because I was too vague. On the other side, when I'm specific, he come out as aggressive. But what I wanted to mention specifically is I think in a way streamers would be happy if I create attention for them. So this goes a bit sideways into another idea. So the other idea was to cut those streams like I've did now that I've uploaded, I've shown at the start of the stream. Cut clips for people, but not only send it to them, but instead start making social accounts that create kind of proof. So get Vodflow posts clips from different streamers and maybe even mashups later or whatever. what are all the other names for combining videos. It creates those clips, puts the clips in a VodFlow account, and just puts them publicly while mentioning the original creator if he's on the platform. So I don't want to steal the credit, I want to give the credit. It's no idea. I don't care. I don't want to generate money from it. I want to prove that the clips can get attention, views, clicks, whatever, and try to provide that attention back to the original streamer. And if these do well, which I think is kind of first a matter of volume and second a matter of improving over time. If they do well, this is proof that the app is worth it and the app is valuable and generates value. Because you can see how much views the video got, and you know it was done in this program for this stream, and the streamer itself can see it, and he might be getting reference, whatever, new users, followers, wishlist, whatever he wants to get. He gets metrics out of that when that does well. Then this is a good promotion. But on the other side, there's the like, oh, you stole my content and you're gaining something from my content, although I'm totally referencing to him. I know the referencing is a critical point, maybe changes, between 80% of people hating it to 20% of the people hating it. But I got the reactions that means that a lot of people might not be happy about it, but I feel like they won't be happy about it at the start. But if they get something from it, then suddenly it changes their mind. This is what I try to equate with the dating story. It's like, if it's beneficial for them, maybe they're not that unhappy because maybe you're not fully happy with what happened, but you're happy by getting something out of it. So you're like, he's not that cool, but he's giving me something, so I guess that's kind of okay, maybe. At least I won't be aggressively trying to take his stuff down. That's kind of my thinking on the other aspect. And it kind of connects and kind of doesn't connect to Discovery platform because, as I said, running part of it is running the software on the streams and getting expert to Discovery platform. Same way I can get excerpts or artifacts produced into social accounts. And they could appear in both the Discovery platform and social accounts. I probably don't want to host clips on my own website. I'd rather have them in one of the social accounts. Yeah, I'm still very messy on thinking the next step on marketing and discoverability or showing off the product. That's here. This should be my focus soon. Like, this should be the thing that I'm building at this point versus doing the other things. I probably do the demo and then I do that, but I'm not gonna do tracking the API costs. I did test this. I don't know if it was done. Clip tags. It's a cute thing. Okay. I'm taking a break. Kind of proud of myself. This is a 3 hour that I feel like I didn't really take a break. I did pause and be right back for maybe 3 times for, I think, like around a minute. So for me, this is a longer stream. I need a bit of a break. I'm not sure. We have plans not be here, and there's food and the things. Um, I think I'll end it. I don't think I'm coming back today. Come back tomorrow. Yeah. Um. Okay. Let's finish this for now, and we'll do another one tomorrow. So I didn't even get to the first thing, demoing, but I did demo it on other people's. We did do, I want to say, very little work on the homepage a bit. Um, yeah, at least I'm getting to stream again. I've showed some things. I hope I'll flip them on the next stream. I feel very empty in accomplishment. I feel like I talked about a lot. I demoed a lot. I talked about my plans. I gone over the task lists. But in terms of actually doing something in the last 3 hours, well, I did content, you could say. Assuming I'll get actual good content from this. Assuming I can create the content from it and it's useful anyway. But it feels a bit like 3 hours and I did to the modification to the homepage. I won't lie to you, it feels like I've wasted a lot of time. But the thing is, I've never done proper concentrated marketing and or streaming, so maybe I just don't have my expectations straight. Unlike, well, I did content. I didn't. I might have just did the recording part for content and not the processing, so I don't have the content output. So it might be seeming a bit poor. And maybe this talking to yourself is like a brainstorming, not even brainstorming, but kind of. And we did review the homepage. We did find a couple of other bugs. We might be fixing one. I don't know. I'm feeling a bit empty, unaccomplished, and time wasted. But I did the entire stream. I talked to demo the app and talk about the app and me building and the features and plans. And this is what I wanted to do, is do content. So I've done content, but I have no way to rate it and how good it was. Because in a way, the stream itself is probably not the most useful thing. I don't expect it to. I don't have real. Anyway, on a proper note, have a good weekend. Oh, you probably already started your weekend. We're almost ending our weekend. Half a day. And Monday's a new week, work week. And I'm kind of missing a lot of the, I guess, midweek or start week streamers that I'm interacting with, startup building and such. And I also have some personal life weekend things going on. So enjoy the end of your weekend or start if you're there. You're probably the earliest is now between Saturday and Sunday, right? Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a good day, a good week, and hopefully see you again soon. Bye bye.